And what else was I going to cover today before I end this podcast? And if you guys have any questions, I see a few people watching me here. And if you're coming late, the reason why I'm in my closet is because my house is getting renovated right now. So going to have to be in a closet for a while. In the closet, figuratively and literally. Kidding. What else did I want to cover here? There was something like last week, what I was trying to talk about is a question somebody asked me about their question was, they said, a cybersecurity analyst career path, is it a must or advisable to start from a SOC or a NOC center, or can you go straight entry level into cybersecurity analyst jobs? There's entry level SOC jobs. There are entry level SOC jobs. If you have the experience and the background in a SOC, you can get into it. If you're entry level and you're trying to get into a SOC job, here's what I would do. What I would do is I would go on Indeed.com. This is just one site, by the way. And let me just readjust my screen so you can see what I'm about to type here, real time, for everybody to see. All right, so here's what I would do. I would just go to let's just start simple. SOC. Let's just see if there's any SOC jobs. Now, you probably want to put your location wherever you are on here. Wherever you're at, put that in there. So this is pretty good pay, right? Some of these pretty good paying jobs. Yeah, there's a couple remote jobs for SOC. That's pretty interesting. But then, okay, so we know that this is a real keyword, SOC, because I can see a couple SOC jobs in here, but you also put in security compliance analyst and some other things. Okay, but here's what we do. So we want an entry level job, just put entry level. Let's just keep it simple. See if we can find something. Yeah, there you go. Here's an entry level SOC tier 1 position. So let's look at this. Like, what are they looking for? Description, tier 1 at a SOC. Okay, it's kind of describing overall what they're doing there. But what we want to look at is the minimum requirements, because this right here tells us whether we want to keep reading or not. Because they're going to tell you, hey, we need a bachelor's degree. You don't have a bachelor's degree, move on, go to the next thing. If they require the minimum experience is a bachelor's degree or a master's, and you don't have that, move on. So they're saying it's a bachelor's degree. Let me see, academic or work experience with TCP/IP networking. Okay, so yeah, look, this is an entry-level job. I don't see any gotchas. This is pretty basic. So to answer your question, yes, you can. What do I advise for a career path? I'm going to give you some advice, but it'll be based off of what I did for my career path, and that'll give you an idea, because I don't know where you're at. Talking to the person who asked me this question, I don't know where they are in the grand scheme of things. I'm assuming that they're a entry-level cybersecurity person, that they have some IT experience. I'm assuming that, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, that's what I would do if I was looking for an entry-level SOC job. And you can do this with Dice.com, one of the top US technical sites to go to. You can do it with CareerJet. You can do it with LinkedIn. You can do it with, there's literally millions of different job aggregators out there. I would use at least 10 of them. Okay, but what I want to do is give you like more context about how to approach this and give this a little bit more information here. So where I started off was tier 1, basic computer knowledge, troubleshooting. I started on the help desk. I was in the Air Force, and that gave me a solid foundation. I didn't have a degree. I was coming out of grunt work. I was a cop. I was security forces in the Air Force that I did for 5 years. I knew criminal justice. I know the US UCMJ, how to arrest people, how to apprehend people. I was a weapons specialist, grunt work, stuff like that is what I did for 5 years. So then I was like, I want to do computers. I love computers so much, and I got into it. And so I cross-trained, is what we call it in the Air Force, cross-rate, change MOS, depending on what branch of the military you're in. But I cross-trained into COM, was what they called it at the time. And I did help desk, and then from there, having basic troubleshooting knowledge, basic knowledge of networking, basic knowledge of computers, systems, I was able to get into network engineering. They had a little position open. They said, hey, we need some people over here to do this, to do network engineering. Network engineering. And so I did that for a while, and that was basically me helping to troubleshoot routers and switches. Completely different feel, different environment, and I got great exposure to networking and TCP/IP and routing protocols and all that kind of stuff that I completely forgot over the years. But that foundation allowed me to have a greater understanding of things like basic security practices, and that helped me to get into security compliance, which I hated when I first did. Security compliance is mostly documentation, it's regulations, it's federal standards, it's stuff like that. And I want to be hands-on. I want to be that computer hacker, with the glasses and the script going across his glass and stuff like that. I didn't want to just do compliance. Turns out I was really good at it, and it's been paying me for years, so I can't complain anymore about it. But these two things right here allowed me to go to the next step, which is I specialized in Unix for a while. That was really fun. I learned a lot with that one, and it helped me with the Linux commands and stuff, being an information system field tech and knowing how I was working on a weapon system, and how technology is integrated into doing all these real high level stuff. And all of this right here, these two tiers helped me to get into SOC and security system administration. And today what I do is cybersecurity consulting, because I know a little bit about a lot of things now, and I'm super deep in just compliance. I'm super duper deep in compliance, but I know enough about network engineering to where I could probably put up together a basic network. I could develop a basic web page, but I'm by no stretch of the imagination an expert in network engineering or software engineering or Linux or Unix or anything like that. So that's kind of my journey through a career path, and I say this to help somebody else out there who's wondering, how do you get from here to there, So that's why I wanted to bring that up.